Gabbert, quick throw, intercepted, right into the arms of Tamba Hali. Another interception, touchdown, Kansas City. Tamba Hali.
That was part of Coach Reid's first victory with the Chiefs way back in 2013. It was the first of many wins over the last 10 years, and he'll have a chance to add to that total on Sunday in another matchup with Jacksonville. Hey everyone, and welcome into our game preview this week, presented by Crown Royal. My name is Matt McMullen, and this week we're joined by one of the very best in the business. It's Trey Wingo. And Trey, you DM'd the Chiefs' main Twitter account during the game on Sunday Night Football, and you asked what it's like having an alien unicorn at quarterback. Well, the answer is it's amazing having Patrick Mahomes as our quarterback. We've seen time and time again, no matter the score or how much time is left, he's always going to try to find a way in the end. More often than not, he does. We saw it on Sunday Night Football against Tennessee. And that leads to my first question for you here. What are your expectations for Mahomes and the Chiefs offense against a young but talented Jacksonville defense here on Sunday?
First of all, great to be with you. Thanks for having me on. I think the expectations are the Chiefs are going to do what the Chiefs are going to do. This is, there's so many ways you can sort of qualify or try to quantify how good Mahomes is. This is my favorite, and we did some research. The guy I work with at Caesar Sports now used to work with me at ESPN, and he used to work for the Chiefs. His name is Jim Carr, and we sort of cobbled together some numbers. With the win Sunday night over the Titans, Patrick Mahomes in his career after the team's bye week, first of all, 5-0, he's never lost one after the bye, but we took it one step further. In every regular season game in which Patrick Mahomes has been the starter for the Kansas City Chiefs after the bye, they're 20-3. In the last 3 seasons, they are 17-1 after the bye, which is a fancy way of saying outside of Cincinnati last year, no one has been able to find a way to beat the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes as their starting quarterback after the team's bye week that season. It's ridiculous. They're just going to do what they're going to do. Whether it's Juju or a big day for Kelsey, they're going to find a way to get it done because Patrick Mahomes is going to find a way for them to get it done. I think the running game could be a little more impactful in this one. You would hope so because Patrick had 63 yards Sunday night, and the next leading rusher for the Chiefs had 5. So you don't want that to be the model going forward. If we can get Pacheco and Clyde Edwards-Helaire a little more into the offense, in the rhythm of the offense, and maybe even a little McKinnon, then I think we're in good shape.
Yeah, this Chiefs offense has been so much fun to follow this year because every single game it seems like it's a different way that they're winning. And of course, in the second half against the Titans, they want to find more offensive success than they did. But they made it count in the end when it really mattered. And hopefully they can get back on track here against the Jaguars in terms of scoring more points like we're accustomed to. This Jags defense is a bit underrated, though. They're the number 10 scoring defense in the NFL. They have some playmakers, especially on their defensive line. They have struggled in some areas, though. They're young, as I mentioned, and they've missed the most tackles of any team in the NFL with 99. Conversely, the Chiefs have the most yards after the catch in the NFL this season, so that could be an area to watch here in this one. Now, looking at the Jaguars offense, I think this might be the most underrated group in the NFL, honestly. They're only averaging 22 points per game. I get that they're not scoring a ton, but they're certainly moving the football. They have the most first downs in the NFL, and they're tied with the Chiefs for the third most plays of 10 or more yards in the AFC this season. Travis Etienne has been really good. He has 5 straight games with more than 100 yards from scrimmage. How can the Chiefs defense, that was so good against Tennessee in the second half last week, slow down Trevor Lawrence and company on Sunday?
Well, listen, obviously it certainly helped that Malik Willis was playing quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. I mean, they didn't have a single receiver have a catch in that game. That's not going to happen against Jacksonville. But, the thing about the Chiefs defense, everything is metric based in terms of the NFL official statistics on yards, right? I don't think the Chiefs really care about yards. We'll give you some yards. We're going to eventually make 1 or 2 critical stops in a game, whether it's by a turnover, like we saw in the San Francisco game, the interception in the end zone, that really sort of swung the momentum heavily in favor of the Chiefs in that game before the bye. Or they'll get a couple of stops with the sacks of Dunlap and Jones. This Chiefs defense, I really believe, might be the best Chiefs defense that Patrick Mahomes has had to work with his entire career there as a starting quarterback, right? And I think Willie Gay back from the suspension changes that defense dramatically. They're much more stout against the run than they have been in the last couple of years. And it's the ultimate security blanket. Just get a couple of stops because the other guy, the alien unicorn, he'll be fine. He'll take care of it. Like you go back to that Sunday night game, he just wasn't going to let them lose. Like, he wasn't going to let them lose. I think the Chiefs' defense is as good as he's ever had it, and I think that gives him a little more confidence as well. And I think they'll be able to come away with some stops. Everyone was right to assume that Trevor Lawrence should have been the number one pick in the 2021 draft. I mean, that's absolutely true. But he has not yet ascended to that level of play that people have sort of been looking for. He's had some flashes of it. We saw a great second half against the Raiders. But I think people are still looking at Trevor Lawrence. Are you going to be the guy that everyone thought he was going to be when he came out number one in that draft?
Yeah, and to get back to your point about how this defense may be the best group that Patrick Mahomes has had in Kansas City, I think you're right, and I think that's a scary proposition for any opponent, because when the Chiefs are a complete team, like I believe they are right now, they're very difficult to beat. And even if you're the Titans and you have a great defensive game plan and you hold Patrick Mahomes at bay for much of the game, as long as the defense can keep him in it, he's probably going to find a way in the end. So hopefully we see that complete team effort here against Jacksonville. It's the Chiefs' first home noon game of the season, which is crazy to say here in Week 10, but it's a great opportunity here against a very underrated opponent in the Jaguars to earn their 7th victory of the season. Trey, awesome stuff, man. Really appreciate your time.
You got it, buddy.